Okay, I just glued on the second board. So this one's in place. I just glued this one on and I clamped them. I put way less wood glue, or not wood glue, but liquid nails this time. But it's still seeping out. So I'm learning this whole liquid nails game, like how much you're actually supposed to use. Oh, that's a lot right there. But anyway, so my thought was, because I'm not very good at measuring things, I just kind of hope for the best, you know? So my thought was I did both of the sides, and then these middle pieces, you can tell are just a hair too long. So I thought it would be a lot easier just to trim off the end of these and make it fit, you know, than to have to go back and deal with this hanging off the side. So that's my thought. So I'm going to let these sit till they get on there pretty good. Then I'll come back and add these. These are all the clamps that I have. So I might, actually I think I do have some more clamps somewhere. I just don't know where they are. We desperately need to clean out this garage. I have so much stuff out here though. And then of course there's just the, you know, random garage stuff, the lawnmowers and our bikes and all that. So just a lot and a little bit of a space. Okay, here's an overview of the bathroom. And you can see that I already pulled off one of the cabinets down here. So some of the things that I want to deal with is, one, this DIY countertop that is just strange looking. And you can see that whatever finish they did on this is coming up. So I want to try to keep this countertop and do something different to it. The mirror, I'm just going to leave as is. I'd like to change out the light. Let's see, if you move over this way, these are hideous. More hideous. I'd like to take those out, but I think they might be cut in the sheetrock. So that's a problem. I'd like to make more substantial baseboards. And then this floor, I'm not going to be able to do, you know, remove this. It would be way too much work. But I would like to put some new grout or color the grout that's in there to be a little bit lighter, you know, cleaner and brighter. Of course, some paint. And what I'm working on this cabinet, this is just like a Formica type cabinet or pressed board, but I'm filling in this with some wood filler. And then I want to add some boards to make it a, you know, like a shaker style, because that's what we have in our kitchen. Of course, replace the hardware. And then these hinges are expensive, but look how rusted those are. So I was looking at buying some new hinges. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try to restore them. So I actually have some hinges out on my back porch right now, soaking in some vinegar solution to see if I can get the rust off of them. If not, you know, that may have to be replaced. So those are the main things that I want to do. Oh, and then the sink is super rusted. The hardware, look at that. Yeah, so this needs replaced, like this whole setup here. I've already priced it out. These are like $45. Would love to just do a whole new sink, like a square sink or something like that. But like I said, this is going to be cheap and easy. So I'll probably just get the same one. It's I think $47 is what I priced at Lowe's. And then of course the new. And then I'm not going to show you what's behind the curtain. That's a whole nother day and a whole nother dollar. But I would like to reglaze the tile and reglaze the tub. So if there's a part 2 to this, then that's what the part 2 would be down the line. But just to start with you know, what is actually doable right now and at my skill level, which is very minimal. I have a few power tools and, you know, my knowledge is what it is. Okay, this is astounding to me. Check this out. Look at that. Okay, so I rinsed it off and then I did some barkeeper's friend, and I sprinkled it on there and I barely scrubbed it. I mean, it was more almost like wiping it. It took me maybe 30 seconds just to scrub it a little bit, and check that out. That is unbelievable. This one was the worst. This was the worst of the two. I've got quite a few more of these. I didn't want to waste my time until I knew it was going to work. But look at that. Now, what I'm probably going to do is I'm still going to go ahead and spray paint these. I mean, very lightly spray paint them because I want to put one of the Rust-Oleum anti-rust, or stops the rust. I want to put something like that because this is Florida, it's humidity, and you know, the rust will try to come back. So I am going to spray them with something, but I wanted to give them a good cleaning before I did anything. So yeah, I'm going to keep these hinges. This is going to save me a lot of money. Wow. I have to dry them off still. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. I just pulled these out. You can still see the rust right there, but it looks like it actually took a lot of it off. It's kind of surprising. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of scrubbing on this for a minute and come back and show you the results. I want to see how good this worked. All right, so this is my little setup. This is my sawhorse. Yes, those are propane tanks with a piece of board on it. But this is what's going on. I would build these. Oop. I gotta wipe that before it dries, the wood glue. And then these are my boards that I glued on. I haven't glued those ones on yet. This is my prototype. That's actually smooth, but I have to put another coat of primer on it. But this is what that will turn on to. And this is just primed. I have to prime the other side. And then I've got some caulking to do a better job. You know, like that. I wanted to do a little video. So I had got one coat of the primer on. Boy, was that stuff stinky. And then I went ahead and lined the whole thing with some liner. I went ahead and put some stuff in there, back in there. But I have to do another coat of the primer because you can still see, you know, the stain. And then I'll go back and paint it with the cabinet paint. But that's where things are at right now. And I'll show you where I'm at on the cabinets. Okay, I thought I would try to make a video again. I don't know what happened earlier. Okay, so what I was trying to say, so these boards over here, right here, I got several of these. I got more than I needed, but these are they're 6 feet long and they're very thin, but they're only $1.37 a board. So I got several of those. And then on these cabinet, these are the bathroom cabinets. So I just cut, you know, board. Then I liquid nailed it on. Right now I'm filling all the seams with caulking and stuff like that, letting it all dry. And then I have to give it all a good sand. And then I have to prime it all. This one here, I partly primed it. Prime them all front and back, sand them. Thought I'd, okay, make a quick video here. So I am continuing to sand everything. I've sanded all those for the most part. This is, you know, with the wood filler in here. And I'd put some caulking. And so now I'm sanding in between where the caulking was, trying to get that smooth. Once this is done, my next thing I'll start doing is priming everything, like actually priming everything. I'll do 2 coats of primer and then 2 coats of the actual paint, which is just going to be white. I'll show you more of that when I get to it. But this is kind of a long, messy process, this part here. I want to show you one more thing. So I soaked all the hinges in vinegar, and you know, there's a little bit of residue in there, but basically I'm about to lay them all out, and then I'm going to put a coat of this Rust-Oleum metallic paint, but I bought this one that stops the rust, and this color should match okay the handles that I have. I would just, you know, leave them as is, but I know that with this Florida humidity it's going to make them rust again, and I'm trying to save the hinges. So that's the next little thing I'm going to do here while I'm waiting for my first coat of the primer to dry. All right, I'm going to do the underside first. I'm not going to show me spray painting, I'll show you when it's done. Okay, here it is. I put a coat on the underside. I'm not worried about how they look on the underside. What I'm worried about is the rust, because there was a little bit of rust on the underside. So this bit of spray paint should help with that in theory. Now all right, I got the first coat of primer on the everything. That's just drying, but I want to show you this real quick. Okay, kind of popped up, but I needed some little stands to, you know, put everything on, and they've got these little cones you can buy. They're about 10 in a pack for $8, but I just took, you know, some scrap wood, cut it real quick with my saw, nailed in a nail, and then I took a glob of hot glue at the top, and I made probably about 20 of these real quick. Took me less than 5 minutes to do it, but I'm able to prop up the doors on them. So I've got them underneath there, and then just 2 on these. I wanted to show this in a little bit more detail. So I just stuck this on here, and it's the same. But what I do is put a little piece of, painter's tape to keep the wood from splintering. AI said to do that. And then there he goes. He's sticking that on there. So, all right, let's try this again. I didn't have the record button turned on. All right, so the doors are sitting there ready to be screwed on, but I think I have to go to Home Depot and try to find some new screws first, because we are going to see the screws, and the ones that are there are kind of black and kind of rusty. So I'm just going to try to find some fresh, new, you know, silverish screws that won't stand out so bad. There are definitely some imperfections that I'm going to go back and touch up. Like, for example, can you see that? Right there, I'm going to just do a little bit of caulking on that. I can't get that any better. So from a distance, you don't really see it. That will be the theme of my little reno here, is from a distance. The things that you can't see, we'll ignore. I just wanted to point this out. These are my kitchen cabinets, and obviously they're a shaker style of kitchen cabinet, and that's the look that I was actually going for on these bathroom cabinets, to try to make them blend in more.
Put this one up too?
Yeah. All right, so this is the final. Hubby was helping me get these screwed back on. There's hubby. I did some of these too.
She did so good. Look at this, looks so nice. Looks like a brand new.
I have to get a drawer organizer
Vanity.
for that. But outside. Anyway, so he, I did some of these, but he was a lot faster and more accurate and not marking up the cabinets like I was doing. So he's helping me out here. For me, for some reason, I struggle with drills. Like, I'm out there using the other power tools, my saws, all the things, but for whatever reason, I've just always struggled with drills. Not really sure why. Okay, I'm finally done with this project. So this is a final. Again, ignore the cabinet, ignore the sink, or I should say, ignore the counter, the sink, the faucet, all that's gonna change. But phase one is done. So here it is. I'll just kind of open each one. Remember I had put some paper down too. You can see the hinges, the spray painted hinges. I gotta get a drawer organizer here. I actually have it in a paint tray right now. But boy, it doesn't look like a whole lot of effort here. As I'm looking, I was like, oh yeah, that was easy, but no, that was not easy. For me, you know, maybe somebody else would be faster, but for me, you know, I'm a novice at this stuff. But the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to be here on the grout. I'm going to be changing that grout color to a linen color. That would be a very easy fix to brighten up the bathroom. I did change my shower curtain rod too. This was really bad. Change that out. I won't show you what's behind the shower. And another fix that's going to have to happen are these and those, as I already said. Of course, everything needs a nice fresh paint. We want to change out the light fixture. But I'll probably do the grout next because that's easy. That's something I can do myself. And then my husband has someone coming. We had looked at some options as far as the counter and the sink goes, but he's gonna have somebody come in and take a look. And so we're weighing our options, trying to find the best thing to do. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this.